Hey everybody, Jake Reichbart here. Today I'm going to share with you a lengthy lesson excerpt. So have your guitars ready and we're going to have some fun together arranging a song. Perhaps you've seen some of my many hundreds of solo guitar arrangements I have here on YouTube, and the inspiration for these arrangements is right here behind me, as you can see. I grew up with these vinyls, and I draw pretty much from any kind of style imaginable from the pop music of the past 100 years, everything from Glenn Miller to Van Halen, Alan Holdsworth to Motown, and pretty much anything in between. Beatles, I have perhaps 25 Beatles song arrangements, 20 Steely Dan song arrangements, same for Stevie Wonder, rock, hard rock, Deep Purple, Led Zeppelin, and of course tons and tons of classic jazz standards from the 40s and 50s, bebop, dance tunes, movie themes. And if you want to learn how to arrange any of these songs for solo guitar, I can teach you. Just like the excerpt that you're about to watch, which comes from a lesson that runs about 90 minutes, I have nearly 200 additional titles, and they are mostly song specific. I enjoy teaching through specific songs because I can show you hands-on how I approach arranging a song. What's nice about these lessons is that I don't just tell you, do this and you're done, but rather I'll take you through 3 or 4 or 5 different ways to play the same passage. I'll work with you on dynamics, on articulation, and 100 other things that you cannot just put to paper. As I mentioned, these lessons run approximately 90 minutes. The introduction, which runs usually 15 minutes, focuses on the right hand in rhythm, and in this introduction I go through my 3 pillars of rhythmic arranging, the first principle being melody and bass only, the second being rhythmic arpeggiation, and the third, of course, the down stroke that I play with my right hand fingernails to produce that backbeat that everybody asks me about. Nevertheless, I do have 2 main method lessons. The first one, how to arrange any song for solo guitar, running 2 hours, and also an introduction to fingerstyle guitar and solo guitar arranging, running 2 hours and 40 minutes. The information about these lessons, the cost, my full lesson list, as well as a link to the full performance of the song that we're working on today is below in the information. So expand the information, take a look, and let's get started. The arrangement starts, of course, with a famous which is played at the beginning of the arrangement and also somewhere halfway through the tune, between the first chorus, I think, and the second time the verse starts. So let's get started. These are 3-note voicings. So let's start with these 3 positions. The first one, I guess I could call it, if I had to call it something, would be kind of a C6 without the 5. So I have the C, which I play with my second finger, 5th string, 3rd fret, along with the E and A that I hold down with my first finger, strings 4 and 3 on the 2nd fret. And the picking pattern is trying to imitate what the original does, and that's kind of the approximation of that. Play the bass and the top note together, the middle note, the bass again, and the top note again, or something along those lines. Again, it's not scientifically or very methodically put together. It's just my impression of what the original does, and if you can find a better picking pattern, that works as well. Here I did it a little bit different. And you can improvise in that as well. Just change the pattern every time you play it, just again to create more interest. Second, voicing in the series maintains the top note, which is the A, but moves down the bottom 2 notes. So the C becomes a B, and the E becomes a D sharp. So in effect, now we have kind of a B7, again without the 5. So B, D sharp, A. Same picking pattern. So now the fingers are going to be 1, 2, and 3. Or rather, 1, 2. Yeah, 1, 2, and 3. Sorry. Very cleverly now, again, the bottom two notes move down half a step. So now we are playing B flat on the 5th string, 1st fret, an open D, and still the A on top, meaning that we're playing now a B flat major 7, again without the 5. So, and back to the B7. And after we play the B7, play this quick line, F, 4th string, 3rd fret, open G, and back to A. And when we play the A, it starts the phrase over again. So, this note was syncopated, and then the bass note of the C again comes in and moved down the chords a second time. Except that the second time we move down to A. And it's a very straight A. It's a kind of an A5 at this exact moment when I just came from here, because I still have this on top as a melody. So the notes are just A, E, and another A. And while I'm holding this position down, which is to say my first finger holding down the notes E, A, and also I have ready under my finger the C sharp, because that's actually the next two pickup notes which start the melody before the downbeat of the next measure comes in. So it's going to be like this. Over time, or whatever the lyrics is there. And that is the downbeat of this song. Of, let's say, of the verse. This D chord. So putting that arrangement, or putting that introduction together again. So these two pickup notes are already built into the fingering that I've already established from here. Now, I hold down everything and just bring down these three fingers to play this D chord, which gives us the first melody note of the downbeat. And so with my pinky, I will play a D on the 5th string, 5th fret. My third finger comes down to play the F sharp on the 4th string, 4th fret. The first finger is already holding down the A, and my second finger now plays the D on the 2nd string, 3rd fret. And right after I play this note holds for a measure. So what do I do during this time? Like I said before, I arpeggiate lightly. Again, these two pickup notes, C sharp, A, while I'm still holding this down. Again, the melody note D, but now the harmony changes to a B minor 7, which is a very commonly played type shape, a drop 2 shape, if you must know. And it's a bar on the 2nd fret, which the finger is already in position. The only difference is that my finger, up until this point, was just holding down these 3 notes and letting the open A ring. Now I got to bring it up a little bit so I can cover the B as well. 5th string, 2nd fret. And I get this chord with this melody. So again. And for the third time, while I'm holding down this B minor, C sharp and A, and an open G, and an open E at the bottom. That's all you need, really. I can put this hand away. And even the accompaniment chords, chord notes are available right there. So you could just do that. Until the A7 comes in. But I choose to, nothing wrong with that, but there are a few other movements that I can do. Let's take a little detour here into the harmony of what we're doing, because everything we've done so far is the mechanical work of putting down the fingers wherever they need to go, but we didn't talk about what's going on harmonically. What we have here is a tuning in the tonal center of D for the moment. Later we're going to see some movements and a change of the tonal center, but for the time being we are in the key of D. Therefore, if that is the 1, the first degree, the B minor is the 6, the E minor is the 2, and the A is the 5. So it's just a classic 1, 6, 2, 5 so far. And that's important to know, because if we are in the key of D, any additional chord notes that we will want to use to create interesting harmonies have to come, don't have to come, but they, likely will come from the key of D. So if I want to play some fancier inversions and voicings for an E minor in the key of D, I will use notes in the key of D, being D, E, F sharp, G, A, B, C sharp. Meaning that this will have kind of a Dorian sound. We're not really playing modal music, it's just a chord degree, but still, an E minor will have a natural 9, a natural 6 if you wanted to play it like that. In case you're wondering what I was just doing here, I was just playing a nice big fat bottom E note and just improvising a whole bunch of intervals and movements in the key of D. And just by playing that E at the bottom and all these random notes in the key of D, I'm creating all these beautiful sounds for an E minor 7. Now, we don't need a fraction of what I just did, but it's good to know. So let's get back to that point in the song. Right here. So I played a little, because again, when I switch over to an A, there's no melody note yet. It's just a 2, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. It's just 2 measures each of E minor 7 and A7. And to fill the time, I'm playing a little